People were terrified, children were terrified. Almost every day it seemed something horrible was happening and people were afraid to go out.
It was the summer of 2006. Record heat scorched the Valley of the Sun, and two separate serial killers terrorized our streets.
We had the rapists going on and the shooting of indiscriminate people and animals, and then the raping and killing of innocent women. And so it was really unheard of across the country.
Why would you do something like this, Mr. Hausner?
Two serial drive-by shooters took to the streets at night, preying on pedestrians and pets, leaving a trail of bodies from the east to the west.
And I ride my bike all the time.
And you had this in the back of your mind.
Right, that, God, I hope nobody shoots me, you know, but you just don't know.
And at the same time, another killer was haunting South Phoenix. The rapes, robberies, and murders appeared random. Victims were abducted from restaurants, bus stops, and car washes. Ramilia Vargas and Myrna Palma Roman were working in their food truck in South Phoenix when the killer shot them both in the head.
And I stopped and I looked to the south, and 91st Avenue and Lower Buckeye is where my wife parked her truck. And so I turned south, and all of the police tape, everybody was down there. Everything was taped off. It's like tons of people down there, and my wife and her cook, they were still in the lunch truck and they had been shot.
Sophia Nunez was found dead in her bathtub. Tina Washington was leaving preschool where she worked when she was shot. The decomposed body of Kristen Gibbons was found in a pile of trash. George Chow and 20-year-old Liliana Sanchez were found about a mile from the restaurant where they worked.
What
he did was not right. He took her away from us.
Day after day, night after night, the murders began to stack up. The killer, who had been dubbed the baseline killer, became more brazen and increasingly violent. The pressure to stop the killings mounted.
Probably the most pressure that I can remember as mayor, because again, all the people that were scared, even the city employees, it was 24 hours a day of intense pressure.
A task force of veteran detectives worked the case around the clock. Federal agents were brought in. Hidden cameras were installed around the city, and hundreds of officers went undercover in areas where they thought the killer would strike next.
Officers were exhausted, and you could see it in their eyes.
Billboards went up across the valley. The mayor and police even made a TV commercial.
And we're asking for your help.
Tips poured in, more than 8,000 leads and 25,000 different pieces of information. And then one day,
investigators from the Phoenix Police Department developed probable cause to arrest 41-year-old Mark Goudot.
After a year of tracking this elusive killer, police were adamant they had their man. Mark Goudot was linked to 9 murders, 8 rapes, and numerous armed robberies. Since then, he's remained silent, a phantom, until now.
I've never done any interviews. I never talked to anyone. I've never done exclusive or anything. You're the first.
Investigators may have solved the baseline killer case, but to most, Mark Goudot is still a mystery.
I want the world to know the truth, and I want them to hear it from me.